How's it going, guys? Jake here. You're watching Dude Ranch DIY. As you can probably tell, I am no longer in Costa Rica with Sarah. Instead of bringing all the sunshine and nice weather back with us here to Connecticut, we brought temperatures in the teens and about 9 inches of snow that we got yesterday. I am currently out on the patio. I have the house here behind me. I got the tractor up on the hill up there warming up. And in front of me right here is a mostly empty IBC tote, as you guys are familiar with if you've been following along on the channel. It's on this dolly that I made, so I can easily access firewood and move it to where I need. And I bring it in through this door here. I just got done shoveling the patio. That way I could, easily bring in firewood and not have to slip and fall and stuff. And I was about to shovel out a section over here to be able to move the pallet over, and then I was gonna, use the tractor to dig out a little road in front of the house to be able to bring in a new IBC tote. And through all this, I got to thinking, and I think I have a much better way to do this. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So here's my thought process, guys. These are the stairs coming down to the basement. That door leads right into the kitchen, which is right next to the wood stove. And if you come down these stairs, obviously I have the ATV down in here. This is my basement. We have these two big barn doors that open up right to the driveway. See, right out the window, there's my truck. Now, I was gonna go through all the extra effort of plowing out a, the road that I used to drive around the front of the house to bring the IBC tote to the back patio. But, I was also shoveling off the IBC tote, those tin things, the roofing material from the snow. And I got to thinking, we have a basement that I could basically keep the IBC tote nice and warm, dry, out of the elements, and I don't have to get all bundled up and put on shoes and shovel off the patio and plow out a road to, bring in fresh IBC totes of firewood. I could just simply open up the doors right here, and with the dolly that I made, I can basically wheel the IBC tote in the garage wherever I want. And I'm starting to think, the thing is heavy, but it's pretty easily, transportable. But I have my big toolbox here, and then I have this little toolbox, which I actually found at the dump, and it's pretty much empty. And I think if I push my big toolbox over just a little bit so it's flush up with this post, I could probably fit that IBC tote on the pallet right here. Wouldn't have to push it very far. I can move this toolbox now that I made room and kind of organized down here, just for the winter time or whatever. I could put it up over here. I could basically put it wherever I want. And the only downside is that I'm going to have to walk up the stairs. But, I think walking up the stairs is a pretty small price to pay, and the benefits outweigh the negatives here. Because, like I said, I'm not going to have to shovel it out, not going to have to go outside. So I think we're going to play around here, and we're going to do this. I mean, I'm plowing the driveway anyway for the cars, so it's just one less thing I have to do, and I think it's going to end up being a lot easier. The stairs kind of suck, but it is what it is. So we're going to play around with this and see what happens here. Alright guys, we got the section cleared out. It's definitely going to be tight, but I think it should fit. If I'm not mistaken, the IBC totes are like 48 inches wide, I believe, going left to right with the cut face, that I cut out facing out. So I think this should work. It's about 50 inches wide, so it'll be a tight squeeze, but I think we should be able to make it work. So I'm going to hop on the tractor and put on the pallet forks, and maybe I'll bring an empty tote up here just to do like a little test fit. Little tight. All right, guys, well, we got the tote in here, and it is like literally like an inch too tight, too small. We have the main, panel for the house, electrical panel over here, and my toolbox over here, but there's something I can do. If you guys look real close, you can see there's a handle there to my toolbox, which probably takes up about 2 extra inches. So I don't really use that handle, obviously. The toolbox doesn't really move all that much. So I'm going to go ahead and unscrew those 4 screws to give myself an extra 2 inches or so. And this thing should fit in there snug as a bug in a rug and all that good stuff. All right, guys, Louis just decided to join me. I just took the handle off, as you can see here, sitting on the ATV. Put the screws back in place. So I'm hoping that that extra 2 inches will give us enough room. Let's see. Okay, we are snug up against the post. Let's see if this tote will slide in now. Oh, yeah. That is, doesn't get much more perfect. Doesn't get much more perfect than that, guys. We have enough room down on the bottom just in case the pallet, which it is, I mean, it's almost the same size as the base of these totes, but we do have extra room on the bottom. It's going to be tight, but I don't think it should be an issue. And now I won't have to worry about, the wood getting all wet and stuff. So I think I'm going to go ahead and empty out the remaining tote up. I lost my train of thought. Oh, I'm going to empty out the remaining tote on the patio, bring that firewood inside, and then we'll do the old switcheroo. My dad is actually going to be coming up later to grab an IBC tote of firewood for his house because he is almost out. We've just been doing it that way. Normally, he'll stockpile like 4 or 5 cords of firewood at his house for the winter on like a big pad. But he comes up here so much to help me out with stuff instead of making a bunch of trips in the dump truck or dump trailer to bring down cords of firewood now that we live about 35 minutes apart. It's just been easier for him to come up with his pickup truck and I throw a full tote in the back. And once he's done, he brings it back and we swap it out for a full one. So we're going to have that later, but now we're going to empty out that firewood and bring a full tote into the basement here. Okay, guys, we are in the garage here for the first time. As I mentioned, I have a little bit of wood left in this here tote, so I wanted to bring the last of it in before I bring in a full tote. But I just realized something, that I only have, so when I made this tote, I bought these awesome caster wheels, which I have a link to them in the description, but I was intending on using them only on the patio where I would really only have to go left to right. So I got 2 that swivel and 2 that don't. But in this application, I would need them all to swivel in order to get it into this here spot. So, I didn't think about that. Well, let's see. Maybe I can put it tote the other way. All right, we're gonna have to figure this out. All right, guys, well, that didn't take much figuring. I mean, the bottom line is that with the way that the pallet is set up right now, the dolly, with only 2 sets of casters, I can not really get the tote in much farther, just because I'm trying to like shoehorn it in between the electrical panel and my toolbox here. So the simplest solution is that I'm just going to need to order another set of these awesome swivel casters to replace the 2 fixed ones that are there on that side. And now you might be like, well, what's the big deal? It's only sticking out a little bit. The fact of the matter is, I bring this ATV in and out of these doors, and I use these doors quite often. So, the more space that I can have here, the better. Obviously, this fan doesn't have to be here. I was actually doing some welding, so I was having it, blow all the fumes out of the doors here. But, I could still get the ATV in and out. I just don't like how far out this sticks. If I was able to flip it, like 90 degrees, it would be up flush against the wall. The, open, exposed edge would be facing out this way, and it'll just be a lot easier and simpler. So I think that's going to be the game plan. I'll have to order another set of the casters, and we can go from there. But I mean, for now, this will work. That's the beauty of Amazon and Prime 2-day shipping. So I'm going to place the order for those casters right now using the affiliate link down in the description below, and we'll go from there. Well, there we go. Order placed. We got the tote in here, so before all this snow melts, I'm going to bring up this remaining wood, get this tote out of here, and instead of bringing in a fresh full tote, since these wheels will be here tomorrow instead of 2 days, we got 1-day shipping here on these puppies. Amazon is quite the business, whatever you want to call it, conglomerate at this point. I'm not going to place a full tote on top of the dolly because we're going to be modifying the dolly probably tomorrow as long as the wheels get here. So we'll empty out this tote before the snow melts. That way I can avoid making an even bigger mess down here, and we'll carry on with our day. All right, guys. I just went and grabbed my handy firewood holders. They're these awesome, I'm still using these white duck firewood carriers. I did a little, not really a review, but I talked about them in a video a couple weeks back. They've been working great for me. I believe I have a link in the description already, but I will double check that, and if not, I'll put one in there. They're heavy duty canvas. They remind me a lot of like the LL Bean style wax canvas firewood carriers that I had used, growing up at my parents' house. My dad always had them. The only downfall to the LL Bean ones is that they're like $70, and these white duck ones are like $23 or something like that. So much more cost effective, and they seem to be pretty heavy duty so far. I have 2 of them. That way I can kind of balance out the load on my shoulders. And we're going to empty out this tote, bring the wood upstairs. So walking the firewood up the stairs was not bad at all. Really, I think it really outweighs, having the wood inside really outweighs, having to walk it up the stairs. So I think this will end up being a good system once I get those swivel casters. And it'll save some time and energy. Now it's pretty funny, you can probably see our fake Christmas tree still over here. Right before Sarah and I left to go to Costa Rica, we took down the real tree that we had in our living room. We call this room with the wood stove the den. And we took it down the night before we left, and I guess just kind of chucked it out the front window onto the lawn, thinking that when we got back, we'd burn it. However, when we got back, the tree was gone. And, you know, from where I threw it, you couldn't really see it from anywhere. So I don't think, you know, anybody would have really seen it and like thought to have taken it. Nobody was at the house as far as I can tell. So we have been calling it the case of the missing Christmas tree. Our first Christmas here, Christmas tree was in the house, threw it out, now it's gone. The one piece of evidence that I found that I could tell was that there were a bunch of needles down our front walkway, down the stairs to the driveway, and then they just disappeared. I've walked all around the property looking for the tree, can't seem to find it. I guess this would be one of the good times to have like a Simply Safe system or one of those Ring doorbells with the camera on it, so we could kind of see what happened to the Christmas tree. But we've asked the neighbors. I asked Chris, who was here picking up our mail. He didn't even see the tree, you know, in the first place. So it is our first Christmas, and we got a missing Christmas tree that we're not going to be able to burn out in the wood yard. Shucks. All right, guys, so we are back the next day. You gotta love Amazon. I thought it was gonna be 2-day shipping, but it was only 1 day. And as you can see here, we now have 4 casters that fully swivel. So we should be able to place the full IBC tote down on the pallet here and slide it right into the spot that we cleared. So I'm gonna go grab a full tote of firewood. I happen to have the tractor right out here. Oh, should probably unlock the door first. But I wanted to show you guys something. I just got done installing this awesome 511 Designz grill guard, brush guard, whatever you want to call it, that is designed to go on the stock brush guard frame that comes on these L series tractors. This company makes them for all of the Kubota series tractors, I believe, all the way up to at least like the MX series. They have a couple different designs, a couple different finishes. I went with the black textured. I believe they're all made out of stainless steel. It comes with the hardware, just 4 bolts. So you do have to drill through the factory brush guard and you know, make those holes. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to use the drill press just because of the size of the brush guard, but I did completely remove it from the tractor. There's just 2 big bolts down on the bottom on either side. It made it a lot easier. I was able to bring it into the workshop, put it on the bench, and drill away. But I think it looks really good, and it will help protect the front of the tractor because, as you can see, like within the first, I think 30 hours or something, I cracked the headlight lens. It's not too bad, doesn't really let any moisture in, but I wanted to avoid that, so I got this thing, and it is pretty sweet. I will be sure to include a link in the description down below for this website. They have some awesome high quality stuff. I actually learned about this company from Tim over at Big Tool Rack, so thanks a lot, Tim.
Guys, this seems to be working pretty well. Let's see how easily I can wheel it into place here. Not too bad so far.
And there she sits, guys. Snug as a bug in a rug. Fit in perfect with like literally no room to spare. Now this tote, as you can see, the whole front face is cut out, so it does, I don't know if you can tell if I can back up far enough, but it does, the cage definitely does bow out. So, you know, in the future, when I have a tote that isn't fully cut, I think it'll be a little bit tighter, you know, more compact, I mean, in this way. So I'll have a little bit more room up against my toolbox, but still able to open up, you know, all my drawers and everything, no problem.
So I think this is going to be a great solution here. And, you know, from outside, barely sticks out. Plenty of room to get the ATV out. And Louie and I have been really enjoying the whole basement here. So now I can just walk right up the stairs without tripping on this pizza box. And we're good to go. So the basement's looking good. I got this pretty cool clock that my parents actually got me for Christmas. So that's pretty neat. And it's, I don't know if you can tell, but it's actually my tractor on there too with the wicked grapple and everything. So that's gonna about wrap this one up.
Well guys, we got the wood upstairs, empty IBC tote here. I'm gonna be bringing this one outside, and we'll probably replace it with a full one tomorrow after those casters get here and I make the swap on the IBC tote dolly. So that's pretty much gonna wrap up this video. It was just kind of like on the fly. I decided to make this video as the gears were turning in my head. I just think overall this is gonna be way more efficient. So I'm glad I kind of reimagined my whole process. The whole tote on the patio thing was basically my idea ever since we put the patio in, and that was in the spring when we first moved in. So I just kind of had it set in my mind that I was going to do it that way, and that's the way to do it. The IBC tote dolly helped, you know, smooth out that process, but ultimately I think that the tote being inside here, where I can come down in my pajamas and shorts and moccasins, you know, don't have to worry about shoveling off the patio and all that jazz. This is going to be much easier. So that just goes to show, you know, you can always improve your thought process or the process in which you do something. Never, you know, be stuck in your ways. And I'm always looking for ways to improve or get more efficient in doing whatever it is that I'm doing. That's just the way that I think. And, you know, actually YouTube is a big part of that. You guys commenting and telling me different ways that you guys might do something or an idea that you have just only helps me. And, you know, ultimately we can all help each other by, you know, just giving our feedback in a nice, constructive way. So constructive criticism is always welcome here. So throw it down in the comments section if you have any. Other than that, give the video a big thumbs up if you like this kind of stuff. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button down below. We're getting pretty darn close to 4,000 subscribers, which is awesome. We're going to have some more firewood action, splitting, Alaskan sawmilling once Chris brings over his sawmill here in the future. We're also going to be doing a piston and cylinder swap on the MS290 Farm Boss. There's actually been some recent changes to that. I put in an order for a new kit this morning, but I'll leave that as a surprise. I know some of you are looking forward to that video. But yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap it up. So as always, thanks for watching. I'm Jake. This is Dude Ranch DIY. I really appreciate it. We'll see you guys here soon.